All right, so now let's get into the exercise. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the exercise 2 times. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. And what you could do is you can either play it with your pinky, like so you could use your middle finger, fourth finger, pinky, or 1, 2, and 4. All right, so. Right, so like I was in that 5-finger position, and then I used my pinky on G, or you could use your fourth finger on G. It really, either one is fine. It's completely up to you. In fact, I think it's a good idea to practice both. All right, so now let's try playing it together super slow. 1, 2, here we go. Oops, sorry. Try it again. Last time. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to put the drums on. I'll play the accompaniment. I want you to try playing the right hand lick all by yourself. Here we go. All right, awesome job. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of call and response, and I have a special surprise for you. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to play the bass line, I will play the lick, and then I'll keep playing the bass line, and I want you to play the lick while I do the left hand. You don't have to worry about any left hand for right now. Just play the right hand. Here we go. I start. Get ready? You. Me. You. Me. All right, good job. All right, so now the special surprise. Since I love my students and want you guys to find absolute success, I have created a new backing track. So I have a backing track, a call and response backing track for each of the licks. So the exercise and the 2 variations. So what happens is it's still at 100 beats per minute. You can't change the tempo, all right? So it's 100 beats per minute. So it's something to work toward. If you need to go slower, then I suggest downloading the iReal Pro track and then just kind of slowing the drums down, or practicing on your own until you're ready to play at 100 beats per minute. So you're going to hear the bass line, you're going to hear me play the lick one time, and then you're going to play it afterwards. So I'm going to take on your role for a second and show you what you should do. So you get ready to play the lick, okay? I'm going to put this on, I'm going to play it. Okay. All right, my turn now. I can also come up and play it up here. I might try doing the bass line. Just focus on the bass line. Right, so this new call and response track will be available in the lesson resources. Just take a look at the lesson resources and you'll be able to find that. Again, there are 3 tracks for this. for the A, B, and C. All right, the A is for the exercise, the B is for the variation 1, and the C is for variation number 2. Okay, so that is all available to you there. All right, so now let's try playing it together at tempo. All right, 8 times, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're going to play it together over and over. So you try doing the left hand and the right hand together with me. All right, great. All right, so that is the first exercise. Let's move on now. Here is the variation number 1. Let me play it for you 2 times, and then we'll break it down together. Here we go. Whoops, sorry, let me do it as a bass line right. So here we go. There we go. All right, so the right hand. Okay. All right, so let's go through it. We're going to play it together super slow 4 times. Here we go. Just do the right hand by itself. All right, good. All right, so now I'm going to play the accompaniment. You just try doing the right hand all by itself. Here we go. All right, good job. All right, so now we're going to do call and response. I'm going to play the lick 1 time, and then you play it afterwards. Here we go. Your turn. My turn. All right, great job. Okay, awesome. All right, so now let's try playing it together, hands together, left hand, right hand, up to tempo. All right, so here we go. Ready, go. Whoops. All right, good. You get the idea. Hey, Willie, why don't you edit that out if you make a mistake? Because, number one, I want you to see that I make mistakes too. But number two, you see how we keep going, right? That's really the key in improvisation. Even if you make a mistake, you just keep going. Like if I end up thinking about something else and then I have a brain freeze, but you see how we keep going like that. Really, really important. All right, anyway, so that's variation number one. I think you probably have that. It's not too difficult. Let's move on now to variation number two. Let me play the whole thing. I'll play it 2 times for you. And one thing I want to draw your attention to is this right here, that E flat. When I'm playing the G like this, and when it holds over, creates a little bit of tension. So if you go slow, right, a little bit of tension is created there. Okay? So if you hear that, just know that it gets resolved. It's absolutely fine. And this is good for you to start hearing this tension and the tension and release. All right, so I wanted to make sure that you just kind of knew about that. All right, so now let's play it together 4 times, super slow. Again, just as a reminder, you have that call and response track that you can download now. So be sure to download that call and response track for each of these. It's a really good practice tool for you. Here we go. Good. All right, so now I'm going to play the accompaniment. I just want you to try the right hand lick all by itself. Here we go. Okay, all right, great job. All right, so now let's do this. Let's have a little bit of fun. I'm actually going to load up that, that track there, the backing track, okay? Let me just find that here real quick. Okay. 3C. Okay, so then I'm going to show you, we're just going to play along with that, right? I'll turn this down. It might have been a little hot before, okay? So literally, you could play it hands together if you want, so you could keep playing that bass line over and over, or just let me play the bass line and you focus on the right hand. So I'm going to start. Now your turn. You can play it up an octave if you want. You can also have some fun, put on a different sound. Now, do you have to do this same lick? No, you could use any of these variations, the backing track here. So this is 3C, which is the variation number 2. But now let's say that I went back to variation number 1. I'll still play along with this 3C track, okay? So remember, what's going on in this track right here is variation number 2, but I'm going to play variation number 1 during my response part. So, take a listen. Now I'll play this. I can go back to the very first one. The idea is, with the call and response, remember, you have the ability to move around to any of those licks that you want to. All right, so that's the call and response track. You can download it, have fun with that. Now let's do variation number 2. Let's play it together 8 times at tempo, all right? So here we go. Ready, go. All right, so that's it. That's your exercise and your 2 variations. Be sure to write out your own variations as well. You have the space in the music, so be sure that you write out your own. It's a great way of learning notation and also just documenting your licks. Also want to tell you, if you're on Facebook, you want to join the Confident Improviser Facebook group. This is a great way of sharing your playing, interacting with other students, and there's going to be a lot of fun interactive stuff that we'll end up doing in that Facebook group. Just do a search for the Confident Improviser, okay? And you can also find the link to the Facebook group on any of the lessons right below the lesson resources right in the members area. I also want to remind you that the podcast is released on Tuesday, and you will find it again in the lesson area. So you see this lesson area here, you have the podcast, and then below that you'll see the Facebook group. And if you have questions, feel free to join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I will answer your questions and also give you feedback on your playing for as long as the course is active. We're just getting started with this course, so we're going to be doing this for months and months and months, like at least well over a year. So jump in at any point and feel free to ask your questions, okay? So that's it for this. I also want to remind you one other thing. If you have not taken a look at the inspiration lesson, okay, so now you're on exercise number 3, go back to exercise number 1 and take a look at the inspiration lesson. If you're a beginner to improvisation, it might be too much for you. That's fine. You can like just leave it off. But if you haven't taken a listen to it yet or looked at it, I encourage you to take a look at it and see if maybe you can incorporate 1 or 2 of those ideas. All right, so anyway, that's it for me. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next lesson.